Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, is known for one thing: honesty. Rigathi Gachagua is one honest man we have in this country. Today, Rigathi Gachagua led the Kenya Kwanza brigades to a function in Kericho. And during that function, Rigathi Gachagua delivered a speech. That speech was a bit emotional. Rigathi Gachagua talked of so many things, which I want us to look in this particular video. But he also had a message for the rebels, Raila Odinga rebels, who met with him earlier this week at his office in Nairobi.
Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Hii kura iko na maana. Nyinyi hamwezi piga kelele huko, mpige kelele. Mnasema William Ruto ni bure, hawezi, mnaita yeye majina, alafu akipata, akigawa, mnapiga laini ati mko pale mbele. Ati mnataka mpite wale walisema anafaa ati mkue pale mbele. Inawezekana? Mimi kazi yangu pale kwa ikulu ni hiyo. Ni kupanga hiyo laini. Hapo ni kazi mimi napanga hapo. Mimi naangalia kwa laini, nikiona wewe ulipanda, natoa wewe nyuma, napeleka wewe mbele. Nikiona wewe hukupanda na kutoa na kurudisha nyuma, ufanye nini? Niendelee na.
No, that's the real Rigathi Gachagua. But in this video, I want us to look at Rigathi Gachagua's comments, especially on Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and the Raillies. According to Rigathi Gachagua, number one, Raila Odinga's public rallies are actually stalling government activities in the country. Do you think that's the truth? Again, Rigathi Gachagua is saying that Raila Odinga should not drag Kenyans to the rallies and demonstrations. That if Raila Odinga wants to organize these rallies, he can go himself and the family. Rigathi Gachagua should know that unlike him, Raila Odinga has both supporters and followers. And importantly, Rigathi Gachagua made some weird allegations that Raila Odinga is actually using Uhuru Kenyatta to advance his selfish interest. And for me, that was not surprising, because when Rigathi Gachagua was in Nyanza, his statement was opposite, that it is Uhuru who was using Raila Odinga. Then again, he also faulted Uhuru Kenyatta for attending Raila Odinga's rally in Kisumu. You remember after the burial of Magoha, Uhuru Kenyatta addressed a roadside rally in Luanda Market, another one in Kisumu town. So that, from what I can gather, is not sitting well with Rigathi Gachagua. In this video, I want us to look at why Rigathi Gachagua is actually emotional. So listen to him very briefly, then we go into why he's dragging Raila and not Uhuru in all this, in this particular day and time.
Lakini ile kitendo amefanya juzi, amechukua rais wetu Uhuru Kenyatta, rais ambaye tulimpenda na kumheshimu. Si mlimpigia kura? Mzee ya heshima, alikuwa amri jeshi mkuu, amemtoa kwa retire kuliko akae na heshima, amempeleka Kisumu, amempandisha juu ya lori. Sasa si mzee ametukosea? Tunaona aibu. Rais wetu ambaye wenyewe sisi kama mimi tunamheshimu, tunamuenzi, tunamtambua kama kiongozi wetu. Hata kama alituumiza hapa na pale, ni kiongozi wetu, ni kiongozi wa heshima. Sasa na yeye anachukuliwa na hii mzee ya maandamano, anaambiwa wewe panda juu ya lori. Sasa ile mimi naogopa, ninaogopa sana, sijui itakuwa namna gani. Because mimi naona hii mzee atachukua Uhuru Kenyatta, amwambia achukue mae atupe. Ama amwambia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta akae chini ya rami aanze kuiba haki yetu. Na itakuwa ni aibu. So tunamuomba rais wetu wa zamani Uhuru Kenyatta, tafadhali rais, William Ruto amekupea heshima, amekuteua kazi ya kitaifa ya kuunganisha Afrika. Tembea Ethiopia, tembea Kongo, unganishe Afrika na lete watu pamoja. Amekupea kazi ya heshima. Wewe umewacha hiyo kazi, umefuata mzee ya kitendawili, amekuweka juu ya lori. Tunakuomba tafadhali rais wetu, kwa sababu ya siku zijazo, kwa sababu ya heshima ya hiyo kiti ya urais, hatutaki uiteremushe chini ya kuenda siasa ya kupanda juu ya lori. Wewe pada ndege ile umepewa na rais ya jeshi, vaa suti mzuri, enda Kongo, ita watu, unganisha, enda Ethiopia, fanya kazi ya kitaifa, kazi ya heshima, kazi ya rais. Hii ya kwenda juu ya lori wachana nayo. Hiyo ni kazi ya youth wingers na ya watu ambaye wakuunga mtu mkono, wale wanakaa pale wanangojea kuambiwa. Ni wangapi wanasema rais wetu Uhuru Kenyatta akae kwa heshima? Mnakubali akae kwa heshima? Awachana na mambo ya kwenda juu ya lori.
Now, that's Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua is honest. From his speeches, you can always tell what is in his mind. But why would Rigathi Gachagua, a man who is known to have been appointed to the position he is serving today because of attacking Uhuru Kenyatta, today pretend to be defending or to be the defender of Uhuru Kenyatta? Why would he be the guy now doing that? For me, Rigathi Gachagua is emotional because of these reasons. Number one, there is the Ndindi Nyoro scare in the mountain. Last week, Ndindi Nyoro held a major political event, Masomo Bora, in his Kiharu constituency. That event was graced by so many young leaders from the mountain and from Rift Valley. And from that moment, most people started believing that Ndindi Nyoro is preparing to challenge Rigathi Gachagua in 2032, if not in 2027. And in this channel, on this channel, I actually explained to you guys why William Ruto opted to have Ndindi Nyoro in parliament and not at the executive. So Ndindi Nyoro is actually giving the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, serious political headache. The truth is, as long as Ndindi Nyoro will be escalating his activities, and as long as Rigathi Gachagua would still be attacking Uhuru Kenyatta, there is a group which is going to coalesce around Ndindi Nyoro, especially those who used to support Uhuru Kenyatta. So that's why he's now trying to be the defender of Uhuru Kenyatta, then dragging Raila Odinga into all this politics. Number two is Mount Kenya politics. The truth of the matter is that Rigathi Gachagua is keen on becoming Mount Kenya kingpin. And everything is working in his favor for several reasons. One of them is that he's the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, which makes him automatically the top as far as Mount Kenya politics is concerned. Remember, he was elected because of attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. That was the main consideration Ruto made when appointing him as his running mate. But Uhuru Kenyatta is now not the president of the Republic of Kenya. And the people of the mountain are also now tired by being told about Uhuru Kenyatta all the time. So basically, attacking Uhuru Kenyatta is no longer selling in the mountain. So he must appear to be supporting Uhuru Kenyatta and then now shift his attacks and redirect his attacks to who? To Raila Odinga. Remember, at some point, even William Ruto tried to drag Uhuru Kenyatta into all this. Uhuru Kenyatta remained silent. And Uhuru Kenyatta's silence is actually killing these guys. The mountain is not ready for these guys to continue attacking Uhuru. And that's why he's now making tactical retreat. If you listened to that speech, you'd think that Rigathi Gachagua has been one of the biggest defenders of Uhuru Kenyatta. Number three is Kenya Kwanza failures. Kenya Kwanza, just like any other government, I'm saying this because even if Raila Odinga were to become the president of this republic, even if Raila Odinga was sworn in, most of these challenges would still be there. But remember, these guys made promises. And because they made promises, Kenyans are already feeling that they have failed. And because Kenyans are viewing them as people who have failed, they are now looking for excuse. One of the easiest excuses for Kenya Kwanza is normally Raila Amolo Odinga. Blame Raila Amolo Odinga for everything. You see, the other day, Mama Rachel brought some Nigerians into this country, a crook in the name of church, and the Nigerian was telling Kenyans in front of Mama Rachel, and Mama Rachel was actually clapping, that there are people who imported witch doctors from Nigeria. And the reason why these witch doctors were imported from Nigeria to Kenya was to make Kenyans hate Kenya Kwanza government. So his purpose into this country was to pray to the country so that Kenyans don't hate Kenya Kwanza because of those witch doctors. Now we've actually sunk to that particular level, where we import Nigerian preachers, conmen, in the name of preaching. So the truth of the matter is that there is serious failures which Kenyans are now seeing in Kenya Kwanza. So an excuse must be found. And that excuse is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. And that's why initially I suggested that Raila Odinga ought to have just remained silent. Then this government was going to mess up the way they are messing up. And then they were not going to have anybody to blame. Moving forward, we will be seeing more of these guys trying to blame Raila Odinga for high cost of living, for failures to deliver, for almost every other failure of this government. Number 4, in my view, I also tend to think that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua and the Kenya Kwanza government wanted to make Uhuru Kenyatta their agenda. And that failed. Uhuru Kenyatta is not talking. They dragged the Kenyatta family over these particular rallies, because remember when Raila Odinga began these rallies, they called a press, and William Ruto told Kenyans, using using his presidential microphone, he told Kenyans that the rallies which Kenyans were seeing were actually being sponsored by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, because Uhuru Kenyatta is not paying taxes, and therefore he was rallying, he was supporting these demos so that Kenyan people can defend him from being arrested. It took the courage of Mama Ngina Kenyatta, an old woman, to challenge William Ruto to even sell anything they have if they are not paying taxes. So Uhuru Kenyatta and the family thwarted any of those wars. And because they failed on fighting Uhuru Kenyatta family, now they want to drift back to Raila. And again, drifting back to Raila, I think the mountain are also tired based on the comments which I'm seeing. So they might not really succeed. And number 5, I think the legitimacy. Musalia Mudavadi was part of another function in Nandi and Kericho. And Musalia Mudavadi was very clear on the issue of legitimacy. So I was wondering that if Raila Odinga is holding demonstrations saying William Ruto never won, why would Kenya Kwanza spend their time just to try to convince Kenyans that indeed they won the presidency? So basically it means that that legitimacy issue is still something which is haunting them. And that's why they are trying to drag Raila, drag Mudavadi, drag Uhuru and every other person. And importantly, all these are geared towards 2 main things. The first one is rally support of the mountain and also their support base. The Kalenjin nation and the Kikuyu nation, the only thing which unites them politically for the last 10 years now is Raila Odinga. So by dragging Raila Odinga and leaving Uhuru Kenyatta, they are trying to consolidate that support base. And secondly, by doing this, they intend to force Uhuru Kenyatta into retirement. So Rigathi Gachagua is talking sweetly of Uhuru Kenyatta that, Ruto gave you this job, do it, forget about Raila, you need to be treated like a former statesman, things like those, so that Uhuru can retire. He's forgetting that when they were being sworn in, before the international media, Rigathi Gachagua lectured Uhuru Kenyatta as a child. Uhuru Kenyatta is a prince. He's not any other ordinary person. And because Uhuru Kenyatta is a prince, there is no way Uhuru Kenyatta was going to forgive him. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you, guys, and may you have a good day. And by the way, let me know, why do you think the rally in Mombasa has been postponed? Tukutane mbele.